இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறந்து என்று செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
To give us the opening remarks for this program, I would like to call our head of the department, Dr. Jasmine Selvakumari Jaya, to give the welcome address.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, all of you. Welcome all of you for the webinar on Devops platform for SaaS, organized by the Department of Information Technology, Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore. The main objectives of the webinar is participants can know more knowledge about Devop platform. It is the latest technology. Most of the software companies are used in this platform. Devop is a set of practice that combines software development and information technology operations. It aims to shorten the system development life cycle. That is an important thing. It is a shorten the system development life cycle and also provide the continuous delivery with high software quality. So that is important of the DevOps platform. It combines the ability to develop, secure and operate the software in a single application. So this is one of the foundational service. I want to tell some of the features of the Devop platform. Devop is a package management, built-in security, flexible infrastructure. It provides incident management. It supports distributed version control and automated testing and integrated feedback, and also provide the visibility and planning of Devop platforms. So what is the need? What is the benefit of Devop platform? So why we are going to learn Devop platform? It has some benefits used in the technological platform. The platforms, it introduces automation to the development process. It support and end-to-end responsibility of the systems. It support collaboration. It have the speed, innovations, and also provide the customer satisfactions, and also provide quality and reliability of the platform. So main important it will provide the security. They have the 100% security in the Devop platforms. So once again I would like to welcome today's resource person, Mr. Gnanashekhar, Devop engineers. So he is having more experience in this platform. Now he is working in this domain, so that students can utilize this time. I welcome all the participants, faculty members and our students in this webinar. I appreciate and congratulate faculty coordinator of this webinar. I believe that the participants in the webinar is very useful for you. I wish all of you to great learning today. Happy learning all the participants in the topic Devops platform for SaaS, software as a service. Once again, I welcome all of you on behalf of Information Technology. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would like to call Mr. Karthik, Assistant Professor from Department of Information Technology, to familiarize our chief guest among the audience.
Ma'am, my voice is audible?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. It is a great pleasure for me to introduce our today's speaker, Mr. R. Gnanashekhar, Devops Engineer, Maple Lab Solutions Private Limited, Bangalore. Mr. R. Gnanashekhar is a multitasking consultant, well known for successfully taking projects from beginning stages to completion stage. He is a professional expert in CI/CD technologies, He is a very well commented for consistently meeting new technical challenges and finding solutions to satisfy their customer needs, especially in cloud technologies. He started his career as a lecturer in an engineering college. Due to passionate work towards the recent technologies, currently he is associated with Technotrop Info Service Private Limited, Coimbatore, as a senior consultant. He made himself deeply involved in many of the projects in this concern related to cloud computing technologies. He is an expert in the field of cloud computing and experienced in numerous stream of projects under various designations like Mean Stack Developer, Cloud Operation Engineer, AWS, Amazon Web Service, Cloud Administration Engineering, and also in Devops Engineering in Automation Technologies. We are grateful to him for accepting our invitation and becoming a chief guest of today's event. Thank you once again, sir, for your gracious presence here to share your experience among the young minds of Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology. We are so honored to have you as a chief guest for this event, sir. So without any delay, I hand over the session to our chief guest. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon to the students who present here. I'm going to just present and give an insight of what's the Devops. So it's like if you have any, if you want to ask any kind of questions, you can stop me. You can just raise a question and can get cleared. This should be a normal, not like a normal lecturing. It should be like a Q&A session where you can clear your doubts. Okay. Before that, I just present my system to you. My system is visible?
Yes, sir, visible, sir.
Students, actually, so what I want to convey here is, as your HOD and your faculty was telling like that there is an development of software. Okay, there is actually, you know about software development life cycle. There will be what is the old approach and there is a new approach. In the old approach, you know, there is a waterfall model where you actually, when you develop a particular software to the client, we follow some step and phases. Actually, we have analysis phase, we have a requirement, we have a design, we have a development, we have a testing, and we have implementation. So all these phases, what happen? It takes some time. For example, if you take an analysis, it will take at least 1 week. If you want to requirement, it take 1 week. If you want to design, it will take 1 month. If you want to development, it will take 2 months. If you want to testing, it will take another 1 month. So to make a complete software, it takes at least 6 months to complete a end product. So this is in the faster world. Today world is a very faster world. So when a customer will wait for a 6 months to get a product, do you think that will be helpful for them or it will be a profitable? So any kind of thing that this approach is like, this is a failed approach where they are not implementing this approach as of now. So previously,
excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, if the PPT is in full size mode, then it will be easy for the students to visible, sir.
Right.
Presentation mode.
Okay.
Thank you. Now it is okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So when you're developing a software for a client, so it takes 6 months or at least 1 year of time to get an end product. So this is not a feasible in today industry or today world. So what this IT experts was suggested, they just moved to another approach called Agile methodology. Okay, so the previously it was an waterfall approach. Now it's moved to the Agile methodology, where what they will do, everything will be in a continuous phase. So they plan, then at the same time they will develop, at the same time they will test, and they do this deploy. This will be a continuous process. For example, if there will be a set of 10 members in a team, in a project there will be 10 members. So 2 people work on the planning, another 2 will be on the development, another 2 will be in testing, another 2 will be in deployment. So once they complete the process, automatically they move to the next phases. So by this, what happened? Automatically the time will be shortened. So the 6 month and 1 month time period will be shortened to 1 month or 1 week. So this can be only achievable through this methodology called Agile methodology. So maybe you are the future engineer, so you should be familiar this concept, because in the future IT world it's depend on only this methodology. As a fresh engineer, you should at least know all this concept, and you should familiar some tools. I will explain what are the tools available. You should get familiar these tools and make your IT industry it's a booming. Okay, as now the IT industry started booming, you can also part of your team and you can learn so many tools and you can start preparing. Okay, so this methodology started 3 years before, and this is the current latest. As it should say, this is the latest technology where all the companies are moving to the DevOps. Okay, there's a DevOps. You know what is a DevOps? Okay, as the word DevOps, you have to split it as a DevOps as a DEVOPS. That is, we have a development and operation. He says that DevOps means what? Is a development and operation. Previously, there will be a development team will be separate, and operation team will be separate, and both the team will be like, for example, the development team, they will develop a product for 1 month and they will send to the operation team, and they will take 1 month to make that product to be successful. In case something is failure in the operation team, again they will send that particular product to the development team, again they will do the rectification, and again they send to the operation team. So by this process, what happens, it takes it's like a lot of time, and there is also called as a blame game. So blame game in the sense, of a developer say, my product was successful, there is only problem with the operation team. Similarly, operation team will say, okay, my was correct and the development team was made a mistake. Like that, there will be a blame game between this development and operation. To make this easily, what the IT expert did, they just combined this to become a DevOps. This is the future, and they say this is the develop as a demolished the wall between the development and operations. Okay, so this is the infinite loop. This infinite loop, what will happen? They will start the planning. Simultaneously, they will start once the plan has been okay, it's like a 10% of the plan has been okay, then they start the coding. Then once the code has been okay, 50% of code is completed, they send to the build part. Then they test. Then simultaneously they release and they deploy, they operate and monitor. This will not stop. Okay, this will be continuously moving. That is the greatest advantage of using DevOps. So this will be keep on every changes. Suppose if the customer say, I want some modification, you can take an example of a Facebook. You know what a Facebook know? In the Facebook app, every time, okay, there will be in the background, there will be some modification. One day you are using the Facebook app. In next 3 or 4 days, you can see there is some change in the UI. UI means a user interface. In the app, there is some changes will be there. So you can see without your knowledge, they just do the modification. They do the updates. So these are done with the help of the DevOps. So in the DevOps, what happens automatically, all the changes will be reflect in the background. So most of the company, all the top IT companies have started to implement the DevOps. So whenever, suppose if you are attending a final year students or a postgraduate students, those who are going to attend the interview, suppose you are saying I have a knowledge in DevOps and I know some tools, then the first thing they will recruit you. You get selected in the first because the company now wanted the professionals who know DevOps. Okay, so you can make this as utilize this section, and if you feel any doubts, you can stop me, you can ask me, I can clear any kind of doubts you have. Okay. Next I moved on to this one. So we have what is DevOps, why do we need DevOps, when do we need DevOps, and for whom it works, and where do we need. These are the 5 W's DevOps. Okay. First, what is DevOps? As I told so DevOps is provider a continuous integration and continuous development software. So where people started to implement their task or a customer product, they even to deliver a very fast and rapid and reliable software within a matter of time. So in the previous, as I told, in the waterfall approach, if you follow it, they take at least 6 months to 1 year of time to get it delivered products. But now it takes just only a 1 week or 1 month to get a final product. That is the use of DevOps. Okay, that's the one thing you should know. Then why do we need DevOps? Because now all the companies, they started to implement this DevOps. They have a greater collaboration. They have a software getting very faster, and the demand is very fast, is increasing. The main thing, they started using the mobile devices. In all the mobile devices, when you see the app, they implement, they develop using the DevOps. That is the advantage of using the DevOps. Next, when do you want DevOps? Suppose there is you also can say why there is a waterfall approach is not usable. Suppose you want a product, I want a product that to be more than 1 year of time, then you can go for that kind of product. But if you want a very short time of very short time of time, then if you want to develop a software, then you can use the DevOps. Then if you want certain product like the updates, we can take an example of a WhatsApp, where they will develop and even keep on update you. So if you want that kind of software, then you can go to the DevOps. So this kind of thing, we have to know if a customer come and ask you some kind of software, the first thing you should know what is the requirement. You should get the requirement gathering, and based on the required gathering, you should even approach. Okay, you can go for the waterfall approach. You can go the agile approach. Based on the, you can select the DevOps. That is the case of when do you want DevOps. Okay, this is the tool. Okay, please listen this very carefully. Okay, when you go for an interview, they will ask you what are the tools you know familiar with the DevOps. So there are so many tools available for using the DevOps. So called open source tools where you can develop free open and you can start easily without any payment. This is very easy and you can download in the internet. It's free of cost. Okay, so these are the tools. Okay, there is some tools which are there. I'm saying this is very important if you're coming to an industry. If you're coming to industry, if you want to code, there will be a Confluence, Jira, and Git. In this, you should know Git. If you want to take a notes, you can also take notes of this one. Which tools you want to be familiar if you want to be a successful person, or if you want to get a placement in after your graduation, then you can just know and learn these tools. Okay, in this 1 hour session you can't know you cannot know all the concept, but I should give an idea of what thing you should know and which is recently trending the market. Okay. So if you want to in the code session, you can use the Git. Git is like a repository where you can store your code. So you should know the Git concept. Okay, that's if you want to be a Devops engineer, you should know the Git concept. Like Git, there are a lot of Git commands is there. You should know Git. If there is only a GitLab or is a GitHub, you can use either any one. Okay. That's one thing. Then if you want to the build section, if you go to the build section, that you can use Maven. Maven is a build. Build means what? If you have multiple, you have a lot of, if you take an example of Java program, you have a lot of class files. That class file will combine to one particular package and we can execute that is a build phase. Okay. So if you want to be a build, if you want to know about the build tool, you can learn the Maven. That is one thing. Then if you want to testing, if you any software come to the customer, it should be tested. So you can use the Selenium testing or JUnit testing. So I think Selenium is the best if you are using if your software is an UI based software, then you can prefer Selenium. If it's not a UI based, you can go for the Java, it's called JUnit. Okay. So if in the testing part, you store the Selenium. That's the concept. Then release means what? Once the testing has been submitted, you have to release the product. So the release product should be done. This is a very, very important tool. As a DevOps engineer, you should know the Jenkins. Please remember, you should know the Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins is used for the release and it's also used for the continuous integration. Okay, next we have a deploy. Deploy means what? You want to deploy your software into a particular place. You can use either Docker or AWS. So Docker is very, very important. So as the Jenkins is said, I can say Docker is also very, very important. Okay. Then we have a next thing is operate. Operate means what? It is like you have to, once your product is ready, you have to use some system to deploy that. You have to operate that particular software. You need some system configuration. That you have to use the Ansible. This Ansible is very important. Okay, so you should know the knowledge of Ansible. Next, we have to monitor. Monitor means once a product is successful, you have to familiar with this. Okay, whether it's working fine or any issue is getting, then you can use the either Datadog or a Splunk or Nagios. This is not required because this is automatically they'll give. So most of the IT engineers should know Git, Maven, Selenium, Jenkins, Docker, and Ansible. This is a very important tool if you want to be a DevOps engineer. Okay, can anyone students can explain this flow or explain the tools?
Yes, sir.
The roll number 18110032. 18110032.
Sir?
Yes, you can explain what I just briefly explained the Devops tool. Hello. Okay, you were dropped out. Okay, no problem. Okay, so this is the flow. I will once again repeat. If you want to be a DevOps engineer, okay, you should have a familiar knowledge on the GitHub. It's a Git tool. Then should have a Maven. Then Selenium. Then we have a Jenkins. Then should have a Docker. Then we have a Ansible. Then this is either Datadog or a Splunk. Anyone. This is very important if you want to be a successful DevOps engineer. You should know all these tools. Okay, we go to the next one. So currently we have cloud providers. We have a lot of cloud providers. They are also providing this DevOps as their solution. Okay, so we have Amazon Web Services, we have a Microsoft Azure, then we have a Google Cloud Platform, then we have IBM Cloud, we have a Adobe Cloud. So these are the cloud platforms where they are providing the DevOps as their services. As their topic is like, SaaS, there's a three things you should remember. Okay, I open this one. So I will ask this question to all the students. Please note this one. So you know what is the SaaS. Then there is one more thing called IaaS. Then one more thing is called PaaS. SaaS, that means what? It's a software as a service. Okay, it says a software as a service. Then we have a IaaS. It is an infrastructure as a service. Then we have a third one, platform as a service. So anyone familiar with this buzzword? Anyone can explain what is these three? Anyone ready to explain this one? See, these three things are trending in the cloud services. Okay. So we have a software as service, infrastructure as service, and platform as service. What is meant by software as service means, in this software service, we are just only going to use only the software. We don't bother about our infrastructure, or don't bother about the platform, or don't bother about the coding. For example, I am a customer of a big chain of restaurant. Okay, I am a customer. That means I have a hotel. I want some websites. What I can directly go to the Amazon. I can say I want a software that I want for building software. So what Amazon suggests, okay, you want only a software, so you want to use, then what they'll prefer, you can take only the software service. That means we will pay only what are the software we are using. That is the cost of the software. We don't pay about what the system cost, or we don't pay about the coding cost, or don't pay about the environment cost, don't pay about any licensing, anything we won't pay. We only pay for the software which you are using. That is the use of software services. Okay, similarly, I want the infrastructure service means I don't want the computer about the cloud. For example, take an example of AWS. I don't want the AWS system. I want my own system. Then you can go for the infrastructure service, where they will provide the infrastructure for you. They will provide a one CPU, or you want a 10 system. You can ask the requirement, they will provide, and we will pay only what we are using. That is the thing of infrastructure services. Similarly, platform as service. In this platform as services, they will provide the environment. For example, they will provide a Java environment. They will provide a .NET, or they will provide a JavaScript environment. So they will provide the environment. We can develop our code and we can make a software. So these three things are very important. Based on the customer needs, we can choose whether we want a software as a service, or an infrastructure service, or a platform as a service. Okay, got it? These three are very important. There is a SaaS and IaaS and PaaS. Okay, if you want only a software, you can go for this approach, where your costing will be, or your amount will be only for the software which you are using. Of course, if you want the infrastructure means, it will only the cost based on the computer which you are taking. Then if you have a PaaS means, For example, you want you are Eclipse, you want to use Eclipse, or you want to use the Visual Studio Code. That means they will provide a platform, and for that they will cost. There is a platform of services. So these 3 services should be important. Okay. Next, okay, this is the thing you should remember about these services. So these 3 services are provided by the Amazon Web Services, as well as they are provided by the Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud platform. In the current recent market, Amazon Web Services are recently number 1, then followed by the Microsoft Azure, then followed by the Google Cloud platform. So these are the cloud service providers, and we can make use of these services and develop our own software. Okay. Next thing, I'll show one demo about the Amazon Web Services, how to create systems, how to make systems to work, and how to create database. All the things I'll show a demo. So in this Amazon Web Service, we can configure the servers, we can configure the networking, we can configure the storage, we have a remote computing, we have a mobile, email, security. All this can be done with this Amazon Web Services. Not only the Amazon Web Services, same like thing in the market, we have a different cloud services. We have a Alibaba Cloud, we have a Azure Cloud, we have a Google Cloud, we have a Oracle Cloud. But in the market, number 1 is the Amazon, followed by the Azure, and followed by the Google Cloud. Okay. So this is about the theory about the clouds. I will show one demo. Okay. Just you can see. Okay, this is the one of my AWS cloud. You can just see this is a console part of the AWS services. So in these services, see, we have a lot of services we can create. As I told, when you are going for the interview, also they are just also ask the knowledge of whether you have whether you use any cloud platform. You can say I use the Google Cloud, or I use the Azure Cloud, or I use the AWS Cloud. So all these cloud, we have a free tier available. You can just go and log in with a free tier. That will be a 1 month or 1 year. We can use freely without any pay. You can just log into any account, and you can start creating. For example, say I want to create one computer. I want one computer. What you have to do? See, previously when you want to create one computer, what you have to do? You have to buy one CPU. You have to buy one monitor. Then you have to buy keyboard. So for that it will cost around 20,000 or 25,000 it will cost to get a one system. But now in the current world, it just take only 50 rupees to get in one system. I'll show how to get that. See, you can go to my suppose I want to create one system. So I just click you have to select the EC2. So in the AWS there says EC2. If you log into the Microsoft Azure, they'll say compute engine. There's only the operations are same, only the word will be changed. In the Azure, they says the compute engine. Okay, it says a compute engine or virtual machines, whereas in the AWS there is the EC2. EC2 means Elastic Compute Cloud. Okay, so this is these 2 things should remember. Okay, everything is same. All the things working internally is same. Only the naming will be changed based on their needs. They change it. In AWS, this is a AWS console part, and this is the Azure. And similarly, I have a Google Cloud also. So this is a Google Cloud. Okay, so all we can create any system. Now I'm going to create one system. Okay, see how much time it takes and what is the cost. Okay, I'm going to create one system. So I have to choose what kind of OS I want. I want an Amazon Linux 2, or I want to Windows, or I want to Ubuntu, or any kind of system. Which system you want, you can select. For example, I want to select. Similarly, you can select the 64-bit, or you can select that also. I'm selecting this one. Then I want to select the instance type. Instance type means whether how many CPU and how many memory of RAM you want. I want 1 GB RAM. If the students you are trying to use this AWS free account, you can use this free tier eligible where they won't cost anything. Suppose if you are using some other means, it will cost you. You have to pay money for a usage. If you are using the T2.micro, you don't need to pay anything, just a free of cost. You can learn all the concepts with the free tier. Okay, so I'm selecting the free tier where they're providing the 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM. For example, my application is very huge application where I want a 32 GB RAM, then you can select this one. This means this is the X-Large. This is a X-Large. X-Large means we have 8 CPU. In one system, we have 8 CPU and 32 GB of RAM. You got it right. Any doubts so far? Students, if you have any doubts, you can stop me. I am ready to explain or clear the doubts for you. Okay. So don't hesitate or don't feel shy to ask doubts, because these doubts may be helpful while answering your interview also. Okay, so this is a type of the instance, and we have a number of CPUs and number of RAM. So as of now, I'm just creating a free tier, just selecting this. This is my CPU and RAM. Next, I go to the next settings. Next, I want to this all the defaults configuration. Give a default one where you want just give next. Next, you want something called memory. I don't want 8 GB of hard disk. I want like 100 GB or like 200 GB. You can give that kind of GB. So as of now, I'm just giving 20 GB of hard disk. Then I go to the next add tags. Tags is like, for example, I'm adding a tag. My tag is like my name of the machine. So what all software? I'm giving some name of the system. Like what all software? You can give the names so that you can easily identify. Then you can go to the next and give review and launch. That means what happened? Take how much time it takes to create a system. So create a keeper. So if keeper means if you want to connect to the system, you want something called keeper. Okay, so it will just take only 2 to 3 minutes to get a system ready. See, previously when you want a system, so you want to get a lot of hardware, you want to get the hardware and you have to pay money, then you have to get configuration. Now see, if I just click this instance, your system is ready. Your system is getting loading, and it also show you the status. The status is like it's pending. It takes 2 minutes of time to system is ready. You can also select the region. If you want to access this system, you can use this IP address. By using this IP address, you can able to access this system. All this information will be provided here. Okay. So what is the IP address, and what is the RAM size, and what is the CPU, how many CPU are using? All this information will be provided here. Once the system has been ready, see, now system is up. Now you can able to connect to the system easily with this IP address. With this IP address, you can able to create. See, it takes only 2 minutes of time. Now your system is ready. You can pay. So you can also calculate the cost. For this, the cost will be around, if you are using this system per day, it will around 20 rupees or 30 rupees will be the cost. If you want to use for 1 month, say you can calculate the cost. That is an advantage of using the cloud service provider. Not only like the system, you can also create a database system. You can create so many things we can create by using this AWS. Okay, once you are, suppose my task has been completed, I want to stop this one, then you can just go to this one and you can give stop. You can stop means the system will be now switched off. It won't be costing. Only if you are in running state, it will be the cost. You got it? Similarly, I don't want the system. Okay, my testing has been completed, my product has been sold, then I don't want the system. What you can do, you can directly go to the particular instance and you can terminate or you can remove the instance. That's the usage of creating an instance in the cloud. Same concept is applicable in the same thing. Similarly can create in the we say as a virtual machine in this here. You can click the virtual machines and you can create a virtual machine in the Microsoft Azure. Same step you can follow here. Okay, you can create a virtual machine. You can given which region. Region means what? Which your system should be located in which location? Either in the Mumbai region or America region or Australia region. You can select whichever region you want. It will be located. So your system will be located in that place. Okay. See, once a system has been stopping, it's in stopping state. If I don't want the system to be available in the future, then what I can do, I can just select, say it's a stop state. I don't want this new. You can select the system and you can give and terminate. That means what happened? The system will be terminated and you won't be costing. You won't pay for anything. Okay, see how the industry has been changed. Previously, if you want to get one VM or one server, how much time it takes and how much cost it takes. Now everything has been in a fraction of seconds completed. See, as of now, I just go to my dashboard. I can see I have 35 systems are running in my system. So I have 35 systems means so these systems are using by my client. So these are the, see, we have different type. So this is the, see, we have a T2 large. T2 large means based on the project I'm using, my instance type will be different. T2 large, and you have a X large, and you have medium. So based on our needs, I can create systems and I can delete, I can stop, I can remove the instances. Similarly, I have one thing called RDS. So RDS stands for Relational Database Service. I know you are familiar with the database services. We have SQL, we have MySQL, MongoDB, then we have Postgres. So like this, we can also create a direct system database in the cloud. Okay, same thing. So now, as of now, I have 3 DB instances. One is I have MySQL. So see, I have one is called a Postgres SQL, one is a MySQL and Oracle SQL. So whatever you want, you can just just fraction of seconds you can create instances. We can directly use that instances and you can destroy whenever it not required. That is the advantage of using our cloud service providers. Okay, we got it right. So similarly, I have a thing I can use for the Google Cloud also I am using. So I can get the billing report also. You can also calculate the how much I am costing for this one. So you can just go to the any browser. You can see, or if you want to see the costing, how much is the you are using, how much you are paying. Amazon. So there is Amazon price calculator is there. You can click that on. You can see whether how much it costing. If you want to be if you want to familiar with this AWS service, you can open the free tier account and you can use the free tier eligibility. Okay, that's a free of cost. It won't be cost anything. But if you are crossing the limit or if you are creating other than micro or something, it will be cost. Like that you can calculate how much. Okay, from once you have created any system, then if you want to log into the system, then you can easily there is a whole thing called there's a Devops is automatically implemented in the AWS also. In the previous, there's Devops Guru. In the Devops Guru, what you will take in the previous PPT I show, there's a lot of tool is there. One is the Git tool, then I have a testing tool, then I have a Jenkins. What this Devops Guru did, no, they will integrate everything into one. By this, you can create anything you want. You got it? So instead of so first thing what I prefer is you can just go to the open source. Once you have to familiar with all the open source tools, then go to the cloud providing tools. Then only the industry will only need a person who know the open source tools. So the open source tool will be little different than the cloud tools. So first you should get a familiar with the open source tools. Should all the tools concept. As I told you have a Git, Jenkins, Docker. Okay, then we should have a Maven. So these things are important. Once you are familiar with these tools, then you can go to and you can. This is very easily compared to the usage. Compared to the open source, this will be very easy. You can directly get the everything you want. Okay, that's all about this pricing calculator. You can also estimate how much is the pricing. So see what is the our industry is mainly want two things very important. They want cost should be less and time should be less. These two things is actually using the DevOps. That's why our company, all the companies has been started shifting to the DevOps. By using DevOps, you can directly have you can achieve two things. Only one thing is like we have a continuous integration and continuous deployment. So say CI/CD. Now continuous integration and continuous deployment. That means whenever you develop any software, you can easily integrate the software and you can easily deploy software in a fraction of seconds. Okay, so that is the advantage of using the DevOps. So as a future technology, so I should also I'm giving my insight and idea. So the students, those who are like the third year or second year students or final students, you can focus on this Devops tool. You can learn some of the basic tools that the industry wants, and you can get familiar, and you can just shine in the future. So this is the boom of the industry. Okay, so I just stopped my introduction about the Devops. So I just give us some time to answer your questions. If you want anyone just anything you want to clarify regarding Devops or anything software regarding anything regarding this IT industries, I'm ready to answer you. I'm waiting for your questions. So you can just come out and can get any kind of questions. Don't feel shy or hesitate.
Students, anybody having any queries, please ask. Sir, one question is from chat box.
Okay, just a minute, I open the chat. Stop sharing this one. Okay, Jenkins is not a testing application. Jenkins is like it's a main where the continuous integration is taking place by using of a Jenkins. Okay, what Jenkins will do? Jenkins will take the code from your GitHub, then it will build the code. It will deploy the code. So it's not a testing application. It's like a Jenkins is like a we can say automation server. We say as a Jenkins an automation server. I just show an image. So this is the Jenkins will do. What will happen? Jenkins first will check out the code. Okay. What happened? Jenkins we have a pipeline. What will happen? It take the code. That is, Jenkins will check out the code. Check out means it take the code from the Git, and it will build the code. It will test the code, and it will make the code in the staging environment, and it will give to the production environment. Production environment is your final end product. So this all thing done automatically. With Jenkins only we can able to do this. Okay, with the Jenkins, what happened? It automatically take the code, build the code, testing, staging. No need to do anything. Only how to start the application. Once you start the Jenkins, it will do automatically one by one. I will get the final product. Okay, got it. That is a Jenkins. Jenkins is an automation. We can say as a automation server. Is your answer question clear? Why to contain application using Docker? So that is a containerized. Okay, good. It's a very good question. Docker, why do you want Docker means, as I now explain, I'm showing one system, I'm creating one system, I am putting the system inside and putting some software. So what the recent technology they have used Docker, what in the Docker, they just instead of creating a system, they're creating a container. In the container they will start. So this will be very, very less cost compared to our AWS cost. So they'll put the application in a small container or a small box, and they'll start to put the code and they just the output. Okay, that is the usage Docker. So instead of if you don't want to VM, I don't want any EC2 instance, you can directly go to the Docker. So Docker is like we can use the Docker for the high availability. What does high availability means? In case, for example, I have 10 systems. Suddenly, and the thunderstorm came. Out of 10 systems, my 8 systems was been powered off at got some issue or it's crashed. So with the 2 systems, you can't able to service my load. What happened? The Docker will come back and they just automatically create another 8 system and make that as a 8 or make that system as a 10. It's called a stability. It always load balance. It will balance the load automatically. Once there is any system has been down, this Docker will make the system to available equally, so that there will be no fault. There's just a downtime or a failover, something like that they will say. So that case, what happens? So your system will be always up and available all the time. That is the using the Docker. Okay, there's a containerized application. That's a very good question. Any more question? I think I am just very happy to know that some students are knowing about Jenkins and Docker. Very good. So you should also browse and get the knowledge about this Devops open source tools and make familiar with these concepts. Surely it will help you. I'm damn sure that this Devops will change your future. If you are started learning or started implementing from now onwards, surely this will change your future. Okay. Any more questions?
Students, anybody having any questions, ma'am? Please ask. Okay, sir, I go with vote of thanks. Okay, sir.
Okay, sure.
Good afternoon, everyone present here. I'm happy to propose the vote of thanks for this event. First and foremost, I would like to thank our chairman, sir, secretary madam, and our joint secretary madam for providing us an opportunity to conduct this one-day webinar. I extend my special thanks to the speaker of today's session, Mr. R. Gnanasekar, sir, for accepting our invitation to present a session on Devops platform for software as a service to our students. Undoubtedly, you have delivered an eye-opening session to our students and gave provoking thoughts and ideas on cloud computing. Now I pay my sincere gratitude to our Dr. K. Karnakaran sir, CEO of Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, and Dr. J. Jaya Madam, Principal of Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, gave a wonderful opportunity to organize a workshop successfully even in the pandemic situation. I extend my gratefulness to Dr. I. Jasmine Selvakumar Jaya Madam, Head of IT Department, for providing immense support to make the webinar successful. I must thank the organizing team for working hard for past few days to make this workshop successful. I congratulate all the participants for this active participation. Thank you everyone once again for making it a great success. Participants, I just share the feedback link in the chat box. Please fill it. Okay, just a minute. Okay, I just shared now. So all of you fill the feedback link. Okay, so then only it will generate certificate too. Okay.
சார் அதில் சிஸ்டத்தில் மைக்கும் தனியாக வரும். தேங்க்ஸ் சார். ஞான் சார். Hello sir.
Yes sir, yes.
Sir, thank you sir. Thank you lot sir. We will meet another one successful occasion sir.
Yeah, sure.
Okay sir. Thank you sir.
Thank you so much participants and my lovable students. Okay, thank you, and fill the Google form. Okay, then only you will get the certificate. So thank you all of you, and thank you for your cooperation. Thank you.
ஓகே சார், இது முடிச்சுட்டு அவர் லஞ்சுக்கு போகிறோம்.
யாரெல்லாம் ஃபில் பண்ணுறாங்களோ அவங்களுக்கு சர்டிஃபிகேட் போகும். அவ்வளோதான்.
ஓகே சார், சர்டிஃபிகேட் சாம்பிள்
நம்மள்ட்ட எல்லாமே இருக்குது சார்.
ஓகே சார்.
சர்டிஃபிகேட் எல்லாமே ஜென்ரேட் ஆயிரும். இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நேற்று நான் சும்மா எனக்கு நான் அடுத்து பாருங்க, இந்த ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் வந்த உடனே ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக நம்மளுக்கு சர்டிஃபிகேட் ஜென்ரேட் ஆயிரும். நம்மளுக்கு இதுலேருந்து எடுத்துக்கலாம், ஏன் வண்டி கேட்கணும்னு அவசியம் இல்லை. எனக்கு சும்மா ஞாபகத்துக்கு போட்டு கேட்டேன். ஆஷா இதில் தான் சைன் போடுறதுக்கு தான் நான் உங்கள்கிட்ட கேட்டேன். அதனால தான், இல்லைன்னா நான் வந்து இல்லைன்னா நான் ஏன் சைன் மட்டும் போட்டுருக்கேன். ஓகே தானே சர்டிஃபிகேட்டு? அவ்வளோதான். சரி, இருந்தாலும் 2 சர்டிஃபிகேட் வச்சுட்டா போதும். ரிப்போர்ட் ரெடி பண்ணிடலாம். இல்லை இத்தனை பேர்
சார், இந்த சர்டிஃபிகேட்
நான் ஒரு வீடியோ லிங்க் அனுப்புகிறேன் சார், நம்மளுடைய வீடியோ சேனல். அது நீங்கள் பாருங்கள்.
அதில் இருக்குங்களா?
அதில் இருக்குது. நம்ம அது ரெடி பண்ணி
ஆக்சுவலாக வீடியோ வந்து ஜஸ்ட்டு ஸ்டார்டிங் பார்த்தோம்னா அப்புறம் என்னென்ன இப்போ டாப்பிக்கில் வந்து போட்டுருக்கீங்கன்னு பார்த்தோம். வீடியோ வந்து ஃபுல்லாக பார்த்தோம்.
அதாவது அது ப்ரோக்ராமிங் ஸ்கில்லாக இல்லாதவங்களுக்கு அது வந்து ரொம்ப, நம்ம ஸ்டாஃபுக்குலாம் வந்து ஆல்ரெடி ஸ்கில் இருக்கிறதுனால அதெல்லாம் பார்க்குறது போர் அடிக்கும். ஜென்ரல் மற்றவங்களுக்கு வந்து அது வந்து யூஸ்ஃபுல்லாக தான் இருக்கும். கண்டிப்பாக தமிழ், இங்கிலீஷ்
சார். இந்த சர்டிஃபிகேட் எதில்
இது வந்து என்னென்ன சார், ஆட்டோ கிராஃப்ட்னு ஒரு ஆப்ஷன் சார். அதில் அது வந்து ஒரு ஆட் ஆன். அந்த ஆட் ஆனில் வந்து நம்ம வந்து க்ரியேட் பண்ணுறோம். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், அவனுக்கு வந்து இந்த சர்டிஃபிகேட் மெயில் போயிடும். இப்போ எனக்கு வந்து மெயில் வந்துச்சு பாருங்க, நேற்று இப்படி வந்துடும். தேங்க்யூ ஃபார் அட்டெண்டிங் 1 day வெபினார் ஆன். நேற்று செக் பண்ணி பார்த்துட்டேன். நீங்கள் ஸோ மோஸ்ட்லி நான் நைட்டில் தான் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறது. நீங்கள் சிக்கன் தூங்குறீங்களோ?
இல்லை இல்லைங்க, நான் ஆக்சுவலாக 10 17 பார்த்தேன். நேற்று நான் 12 o'clock தூங்குவேன்.
நேற்று 12 o'clock தூங்குனதுக்கப்புறம் பார்க்கலையா மெசேஜா?
இல்லை மெசேஜ் பார்த்தேன். மெசேஜ் நீங்கள் இந்த கால் தானே பண்ணுவீங்க? கால் பண்ணேன். சரி, ஓகே. ஆக்சுவலாக பேச்சுலரான என்ன டைம் வேணாலும் வந்து கூப்பிடுவோம். இதே ஃபேமிலியாக
நம்ம அவைலபிள் சார். நம்ம நைட்லாம் அவைலபிள் தான். ரொம்ப டயர்டாக இருந்தால்
10:30 தான் இருந்தாலும் பார்க்கணும். பார்த்து விட்டுருக்காரு அப்படின்னு கூப்பிடலாமான்ட்டு யோசித்தேன். ஸோ அதனால் நாளைக்கு காலையிலேயே வந்து பேசிக்கலாம்.
அதெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் இல்லை சார். நைட்டு கால் பண்ணுறதுக்கு கூச்சப்பட வேண்டாம், அதெல்லாம் பிரச்சனை கிடையாது. நான் லேடிஸ்னால் வந்து கூட மாட்டேன், ஜென்ஸ் ஸ்டாஃப்னு ட்ரை பண்ணுவோம் ஒரு வாட்டி. இப்போ இந்த மாதிரி வந்துடும், இந்த மாதிரி வந்துடும். வந்துட்டு ஒருத்தர் வந்து சர்டிஃபிகேட் போயிடும், அவ்வளோதான்.
ஓகே சார், இது எல்லாமே வந்து அந்த என்ன நேம்லேருந்து கெட் பண்ணுறோமோ அதை அப்படியே வந்து
இதில் நான் எப்படி என்ன பண்ணியிருப்பேன்னா, ஒரு டெம்ப்ளேட் மாதிரி ரெடி பண்ணியிருப்பேன் பாருங்க. கூகுள் ஸ்லைட்ஸில் சரி, இதை ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடலாம் ஒரு நிமிஷம்.